Hey guys! So as you know, once I moved out of my parents' house, I lost my cable. Since living in a house on my own without my parents, I've been watching a lot of like Hulu and Netflix, and then I stole my parents' HBO Go because they have HBO, so you know. My friend Rachel has been doing this series about like Netflix shows to binge watch. So I thought I would steal her idea and do a little video about all the shows on Netflix that I have been watching a lot in the last like 4 months. Yeah, so we'll start with the fucked up comedies because I really like fucked up comedies. The first being It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This show is filled with horrible people, which is why it's so entertaining and wonderful, and I love it so much. That show never gets old, and you really don't have to watch it in like consecutive order to actually understand what's happening because each episode stands alone in its own weirdness. So if you like weird shit, watch It's Always Sunny. Yeah, if you love Charlie Day, like Charlie Day is just the gem. I fucking love It's Always Sunny. Like, it's the weirdest show ever, but that's why I like it. Then we have Bob's Burgers, which is my favorite cartoon as of recent. Again, a weird ass show with like the best cast ever. You have Kristen Schaal playing a maniacal little girl. You have Eugene Merman as a bizarre young boy, and H. John Benjamin as Bob. Guests they get on that show are so great, and basically I am Tina. Tina is my spirit animal. I have perfected the Tina moan. Maybe some days it's better than others, but Tina is me. Some of it is on Hulu, but a lot of it is on Netflix. Then we have Portlandia, which I love for obvious reasons, because Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein, like, I love Carrie Brownstein so much. Again, that show never gets old because it's so like relatable and like it's funny because it's true. They've actually taken it to cool places in the last season, and the first season is still so golden. Like, I watched the first season recently, I'm like, I love this so much. And I love watching it and like spotting places where I know, because I know Portland, like being like, oh, I've been there. Oh, I know where that is. I've been on that street. And then I love me some New Girl. Rewatching New Girl on Netflix is such a joy because the early seasons of that show, you can just see how the characters have progressed and see how weird like Schmidt and Winston and Nick have gotten and how much funnier they've gotten, and the cool places that they've actually taken those characters away from like the cliche type characters that you thought they might turn into. But I love it, and I love being able to watch like the newer ones on Hulu, because again, I don't get cable, so I can watch the new ones on Hulu and the old ones on Netflix. So thanks, Netflix. Rekindling my love for Nick Miller every day. And then one new show I've actually started watching is Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And it's such a smart show. When I saw like the promos for it and then the like little ads for it on Netflix, I was like, what is this show? And then I realized that it was created by Tina Fey, and the cast is so brilliant, and the premise is that these women were like mole women, that they were basically kidnapped for 15 years and made to think that like the whole world had exploded and like there was just an apocalypse, and they were living underground, and they escape. And then Kimmy Schmidt decides to like move to New York and like jump back into life, and she's not aware of any of it. She's just so blissfully ignorant. I don't know, I just think it's really witty and clever and well written and so smart, like, and such an interesting way to approach the idea of like people being kidnapped and like stowed away for 15 years. Normally that shit happens in like Law & Order SVU, not in a quirky comedy. And then obviously I have to talk about The Killing. This is one of those shows that ended before its time, before it needed to. and it needed to go on for so much longer. But if you like crime drama, and if you like drawn out things that make you just like tense and nervous and like you need to watch every episode, if you like that anxiety, watch The Killing. The acting is wonderful. It's clearly filmed in Vancouver, but like they name drop Seattle. But it's such a well-written crime drama, The Killing. It's brilliant, and I love it, and I wish it never ended. And a couple nostalgic ones, Freaks and Geeks. The OG of, yeah, just the OG. I was like, what was I gonna call it? It's perfect, and it's Judd Apatow's opus. I got the DVD from my parents for Christmas one year, and I watched it all in like 4 days at college. It still hits so close to home, like it's still so relatable. Like even like 15 years after the show was on, and like 30 years after the show was like set. Another one that died way too early. And then the show that I've been consistently watching an episode or two every few days is Twin Peaks. And this one I took a little bit to actually kind of get into the swing of things because it's so weird. David Lynch's style is so specifically David Lynch, and you don't know what's happening half the time, but Kyle MacLachlan's charisma just draws me in because I love Kyle MacLachlan like a lot. The writing on the show is so fucking out of this world, and just the story and the characters and the people are just fucking nuts. That you just kind of have to keep watching. You're like, what's gonna happen next? You literally have no idea. Like, is some like giant ghost man gonna come talk to Kyle MacLachlan in his sleep? Is Kyle MacLachlan gonna get shot? Is somebody gonna be pregnant? Like, is somebody gonna be like enslaved in a whorehouse? Like, what is happening? You don't know. You have no idea what's happening. And it's one of those shows where you kind of just are so intrigued that you can't not keep watching. But you have to pay attention too, because otherwise you can get lost. You have to be like fully in, you know? Twin Peaks. It's my jam. But yeah, so those are the shows that I've been watching on Netflix the last few months. So check them out if you haven't already. And leave me recommendations for shows that I should check out. I know I need to watch House of Cards. I know I need to watch Breaking Bad. I know I need to watch Walking Dead. I started watching Orange is the New Black, but I mean, like, I like the characters, but Piper is so fucking annoying. Like, does she get better in season 2? Like, is she less annoying in season 2? But for today's song of the day is actually a new song by Robert Delong, who I saw at Sasquatch a couple of years ago, and apparently he's from Seattle, but like lives in LA now. His new song is A Long Way Down, and there's actually a music video for it that's pretty new, actually. I think he released it this week, but it's a cool little video. He's like mega super talented and ridiculous, and like doing all these cool new like mixing electro stuff that you don't see often in like electro music. He's using like Nintendo controllers and shit. Yeah, leave me suggestions for shows to binge watch on Netflix if you found one, especially crime dramas. Give me new crime dramas. I need new crime dramas. Please.